or Prasarita So I'm going to jump the legs, so extending. So already my chest needs to open. The front body needs to move towards the back body. Find the side seams. So just see here, the side seams need to go back. So really challenging action. You want to see that there is that line there and keep that as you hinge forward. Now, taking the fingertips down either onto bricks or onto the floor. Whichever way you're working, you want to see that there is a connection with these inner thighs. So you have to imagine that the inner thigh is the front body and the outer thigh is the back body. So you've got to see that each area is broadening towards the outer areas. So just be there for a moment, looking forward. Get in that leg space, get in that leg space. Okay, if you can go a little bit further, flatten your palms either onto the bricks or the floor and just be there. Then gather the arms, so the outer arm rolls back. Gather the arms in so that your chest is going forward. Abdomen towards the spine side, and just see where you are. Just be in that position. Again, elbows gathered in. Press very strongly into the thigh bones and just let the head land anywhere. So it may land near to the floor, not so near to the floor, it doesn't matter. And just take a few breaths wherever you land. Take a few breaths. So soft inhalation, soft exhalation. Okay, and now releasing. All right. So standing up, come into Tadasana and just be aware. So what we're coming for now is Prasarita 2. So we're going to take your hands into a prayer position, or you can just fold your arms in this way, no problem. So let me just show you. You might want to have a pile of foam pads, maybe that you need to go higher and you have a chair in front of you. Whatever you need. Whatever you need. So you're going to see that when you're in this position, you take your hands into a prayer position and lift up. Be sure that the front body is still moving to the back body. All right, so extending forward, being sure of that opening in the back of the thigh. Press the palms together, and again, see that you are opening the body groins in this way. Now, that's all well and good, but you may need to have something for your head. So it may be that you're in this position, or you may have to go a little bit higher or a little bit lower. So judge your distance. You can also use a chair to put your chin onto. So when you use the chair in front of you, you just put your chin there, no problem. All right, so let's have a go. Take the legs nice and wide, take the hands into crossed arms or Paschimottanasana. Look up, front body to back body, and drive those legs really deeply into the floor. And then come forward onto your support or onto the floor itself. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are in your practice, but be sure you make way and space for your spine. This is achieved through getting the breadth and broadness of the legs. Remember what I was saying in the previous pose. The inner side of the leg is like your front body, and it's got to go to the outer side of the leg. It's got to really open that spine, open the lower back region. And once you're there, once you are supported, head or chin to the chair, head to the support, chin to the support, however you feel it's going to give you that connection with your body, then just take a few breaths once you arrive. If you've been in there a long time, well done. All right, and then slowly coming up. Well done. And and jump those legs together and stand in Tadasana. Take the weight right back into the heels, lift up. So just take a few moments now to understand this extension. Take a few deeper, longer breaths. Okay, good, well done. All right, so we're ready for the next pose now. So we're coming for Padangusthasana. Now I know this is an extreme forward bend. Now if it's difficult to take hold of your feet, you can brace the legs a little bit by putting a belt here, and this will give you a little bit more connection, and just look forward if it's a little bit difficult. So when you work in that way, you've got to really stamp down with your outer foot bones. So just watch here, you're pulling up, you're coming halfway only. See that the front body still goes to the back body. So we lose sight of that when we change directions. It's really important. So front body to back body. Then we're going to catch the big toes. So the feet are only hip width apart. So looking forward again. So if you're using the belt, press down with your feet. Now keep the front body to back body. Keep that action. And breathe. Front body to back body. Stay in this position. You're staying a little bit longer today. Okay, bend the elbows, just let them kink. Front body to back body and grow. Let the arms release. And come into Padangusthasana. Okay, so sometimes we really try to use brutal strength in this. This will come over time. Just keep practicing. It takes time. It is an extreme forward bend, of course. So just try and make your peace with it if you can. All right, and releasing, come back up, standing Tadasana, feet together. And then taking your palms and place in. So you can see this action. And moving deeply in the dorsal spine. So we're coming for a supine action. So this is quite nice. So we come for the supine action, and we just take the belt. So we're doubling the belt, taking it around the feet like this. So you're just extending in this way. So it's like Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. So you've got to see that you are lengthening those legs, but the difference today is that you're going to bring the legs towards you. Now something really gets blocked in that lower abdomen. So you've got to find the blockage, and the blockage normally is the body groin, the side of the pubic plane. So see that you broaden across the back of the sacral area. The back of the sacral area. This is a really nice way to train in this action. Maybe the legs, you're finding it challenging to keep the legs nice and straight. Now, it's not about rolling off of the surface here. You can see that the lower back is lifting up. You don't want to be there. You want to see that you're just letting the lower back melt into the floor. So you're going to let it go. Let it go. Without bending the knees. I'm going to keep the legs straight. But it's such an isolated area. And then see if you can go a little bit further. A little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. And then releasing. So hopefully you are all practicing at the same time. All right, so release the legs down. So this just gives us a little bit of a warm up for where we're going now. So we're going to straighten the left leg, bend the right leg. Now those of you who can pick up the big toe, it's the same work as we've been doing. This body groin has got to move very deeply into the body to come into this action. So it's quite strong. Now, I know that it's a very challenging action, and it may be that you're going to need to have a belt. So this is no problem either. To hold on to the belt with both hands, you might need to have a longer belt. So if the hamstrings are tight, you may need that. So whichever way you're working, whichever way, you want to see that the groin is moving down. And the action is working at trying to lengthen the fibers of the lower back towards the back end of the mat. So just be there for a moment. Now take a little bit of an observation to that grounded leg and reach the heel away from you. And as you do, push it away. You see if you can bring the leg a little bit closer to you. Push the heel away and then see. Can you bring the leg a little bit closer? So they work together, the legs. You find that the more you can lengthen these fibers, the more you'll be able to bring the leg to you. So they work together. It's no good having a short leg and just go in one direction. So that is a problem. So we'll go to the other side now. So straightening your right leg. Use the belt if you're using the belt. So bring the belt around the leg if you need to. And remember, the outer hip moves towards the end of the mat and you're in this position. Or it may be that you're one of those fairly flexible people and you can keep that action grounded like this. Now, whichever way you're working, you've got to still be aware of this lower leg. So the lower leg moves a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more away. Then you have to open in the lower back, the outer hip, the back of the buttock of this lifted leg. Everything works so much, so strongly. Such a strong action. See if you can get that really nice extension. Okay, so once you've been there for a little while, you've extended that grounded leg, you're moving that lifted leg a little bit closer to you, and then you can release. Well done. All right, so we're going to now bring the leg out to the side. So this is really quite an interesting action. So have a look here. Now, if you're using the belt, so remember, as you take this leg up, this lower leg needs to be fixed to the floor. So when you bring the leg up, take the belt if you need it. Now just watch when you use the belt how to use it for today. You want to see that that lower leg, you see I'm trying to push it away from me, push it away, and then I can get a little bit more movement here. Now, you can see I'm holding the tail of the belt. I can slide my hand along the belt and then just let the arm release down in this way. So the key thing is that you want to see that the abdominal area is moving down towards the floor side. So you get all of that connection. Now it's a little bit more challenging in this way when you hold on to the foot, because when you hold on to the foot, it's very easy to forget this grounded leg. So that's got to lengthen so much. Okay, so have a go and see where you are with this one. So either loop or place the belt around the big toe. Whatever you're doing, see that you take the leg out to the side, but keep that opposite hip down. So we're going with the right leg, left hip stays down, left leg stays down. So quite a lot to be practicing there. Just be there for a few moments. If you're doing with the belt, remember you bend the arm. If you're doing it with the holding the big toe, then it's a straight arm. So this is the way we're working today. There's lots of different ways that you can apply this, no problem. All right, bring that leg back up and let's go to the other side. So release the leg, straighten the grounded leg firstly. Straighten the grounded leg. And then lift that lifted leg, the left leg, and then either with the belt or 2 fingers and thumb, whatever you're doing, see that you go out to the side, but keep lengthening along the floor with that grounded heel. If there's any room in that thigh, reach it away so that the groin gets really good length, really good length. And be there for a few moments. Soft inhalation, exhalation. Very, very strong actions. All right, and then bring the leg towards the starting position and then soften the knee and then release it down. Just be there for a moment. All right, so we're coming for our next pose, Anantasana. So when we come into this action, I'm just going to show you it. You might need to have a belt handy. So I just want to move my mic. So I like to line myself up along the mat, like this, along the mat, in this position, like this. And then just let the head release onto the inner arm. So this is really a nice way of working. And then bend in the elbow so you're in this position. Okay, now what's really key is those body groins. You've got to see the front body to back body. So body groin side of the pubic plate, then upper abdominal area's got to support you. So you are becoming fairly still. Now flex that lower leg foot and see, can you carry this off? Hold on to the big toe. If not, put a belt around your foot. And then see, can you lift the leg? Now just lift it any amount where it will go to. Then you have to see you lift it more so that you can lengthen and direct the abdominal area. Then move that outer femur head of the lifted leg in. So sometimes we get a little bit of a wobble on with this pose, so you got to see that you concentrate really well. Keep in this action. Yeah, so you want to stay in it to get that stability, get that opening. All right, so if you haven't already, have a go. Remembering you can have a belt around the foot, no problem, makes life a lot easier. And then extending up like this. So you reach up into the belt, into the belt, into the belt, and move that outer hip in. Outer hip in, outer hip in. All right, so have a go with that. And then releasing. So hopefully you've been working with me on that one. Okay, and then come to the other side. So remember, the starting point is when you get this really nice action and you're leaning onto your arm, level yourself up with the mat. Just be there for a moment and then bend in. So you want to try to make sure that there's no gaps there. If there's gaps, then you need to do a little bit more of this. Flex that lower foot and then bend the leg. And then see, are you able to draw the abdomen towards the spine and go. Okay, and we got to reach that leg up even more, even more. Then can you move that femur head in of that lifted leg? Keep that action, keep that connection, keep that understanding there. So sometimes when you're introduced to a new pose, it takes a little while to actually get around it, you know, to work with it. So take your time, practice it a couple of times, no problem. Okay, and then release in.